Hello everybody. Today we are doing a demonstration on how to put together the folding legs for AV bench systems. Right now we are working on the beginning part of the bench. This would be exterior B channel and C channel on your cut list. This is what the cut list looks like. We're doing this one and this one. How you would start this, you get your angles, which are letter F. For the interior, you go like this into the inner part of the C. You get your clamps and clamp it tight so it's flush against the interior part. The exterior part of the channel, you do almost the same thing but on the opposite side, so the C is pointing up. Squirt, make it in the center and clamp it so it's flush. Now since you have the angles on, you get your hex head screws and your screw gun and you screw right through down into the angle and hold it together. Just like that. You do the same thing for each one. Do it on the other side. Look at your diagrams to see how many you need per bench. For some of the bigger benches, you got to have an extra support in the center. They will be listed off to the side. To do this center support, you're going to need 2 of the interior C channels. Take them apart like this, the C pointing down and a C pointing up. Make sure they're flush together. Get your angle and your clip. Go right into the center of one of the C's and clip it down. You are going to screw this down just like how you did the other interior channel. 2 screws to hold the angle on. Once you do that on both sides, you're going to have to take 6 screws, or depending on how many shows in the diagram, and evenly space them in between to hold the 2 channels together. Do that 6 times. Once you get your angles put them on a flat table. You're going to lay them out something like this. Standard with any of the benches is going to be this. Your B exterior channel is going to have the C part of the channel facing outwards. The angle is going to be facing inwards. Line them up like this. This is mainly for the smaller size benches. Bigger size benches, you're going to have this double channel right in the center. Look at your diagram. All diagrams would be something like this. The size of the bench with the folding or fixed leg bench. That will show you the diagram of how to lay everything out and what pieces you need. Now you're going to need exterior channel labeled number A. You're going to put it up like this. Square up the ends of the 2 exterior channels, like so. And then on your diagram, it's going to show you the distance apart from the other channel. So for this one, you're going to need 18 inches on center. You do that, clamp it, and then you screw them going this way into the C. Now you go and screw on the exterior, where the 2 exterior channels meet, you screw 4 in each one. And then the interior one, you just do 2. You do that on both sides. Once you have the beginning part of your frame built, you're going to get exterior channel D. Line it up with the edge with the C part of the channel facing up. Take your clamp it tight, come to the other end, line it up, clamp it, and then you're going to put one screw going up on the upper part of the channel and then one on the lower part. And you do it all the way down on both sides. Once you have your frame built, it's time to put the tops. What you're going to do is flip it over so you have a nice flat surface where the tops go. We have two sizes of tops. This one is 18 by 36. This is what we'll be using for this bench. We have another one that is 24 by 48 inch. For this bench that we're building, we need 8 tops. You can find that at item number K. If you go over, it says quantity per unit. That's how many you need per bench. To put the 2 bench tops together, lay them out flat like this, bring them up at like a 45, lay them down. There they're together. Put them all together. You just keep doing that until you got the whole bench done. We do have a video on our YouTube that shows you how to do for both sizes. They're pretty much the exact same. Just go check out the video if you have any questions. Once you have all your tops put together, now it's time to fasten it to the bench. You want your Phillips head screw. The best way we found, line up the corners so they're nice and flush. Screw it down, go to all the corners and where the 2 tops would meet in the center. Screw all those together so they're nice and flush together. And then screw in all the remaining holes. Sometimes if you don't have your measurements completely right, this channel can bow or flex in or outward. What you want is still it to be flush. If you have that problem, don't be scared to push on it and it will move for you. And then just line it up flush and screw it down so it fastens. After you get your top screwed to your bench, you're going to have a bunch of these screws that can be very sharp sticking out. To prevent that, we offer these screw protectors. You just slide them on like so. So that helps you from protecting your hand so you don't cut them open. Do that on all exposed screws. Once you got the screw protectors on all the exposed screws, what you do is flip it over so the tops are facing down. We do recommend that you use at least 2 people for this because they can get heavy. Now when you have your bench flipped over, it's time to put on the legs. You're going to have a right set and a left set. They're going to come pre-drilled for the right and left set. It's going to have a little hole there. That's your pivot hole. To start to assemble this, you want your hole on the bottom part of the channel to the outside of the bench. Just lay it down like that. Do that at all the sides with the hole on the outer side. That's your pivot hole. That's going to be our first step. Now when you have them all laid out with the hole facing down on the outer side, we suggest you get a very thin piece of wood or fiberglass, metal or something that's about a 1/4 inch thick. You're going to put that down where the leg would be. Put the leg up against here. Your hole is going to be right here, that pivot hole. You want your clamp it so it stays up. Get angle to make sure it's at a 90 degree, and you're going to do that with all of them. You're going to have them stand up straight just like this. Then you take your drill 1/4-inch drill bit from the inside, put it in the hole, and drill it through. Just like that. Do that on all 4. After you get your hole drilled, you're going to need 7/16 socket and wrench. And then you're going to need your hex bolt, 2 washers, and your lock nuts. You have regular nuts with it, you need lock nuts for this one. What you're going to do is put 1 washer on the bolts, slide it through the hole so the hex bolt is on the outside, the screws are on the inside. Put your other nut or your washer on, put your lock nut on, tighten it up, and then take your wrenches and socket, tighten it down. After you're done, you'll have something like this, your pivot. After you put your bolt through, screwed it fast, that'll be your pivot point. The reason for that 1/4-inch piece of wood or fiberglass, whatever you have, is so when it bends down, it does not catch against the bottom of the top. Now, lay all your legs down. We're going to add the leg brace. That is under item number H. You measure 6 inches from the bottom of the leg. Already did that. Take your leg brace, line it to the upper part of your line or your 6-inch mark. Clamp it down. Do the other one. Then you're going to do 2 hex head screws in each one, and on the other side. After you have used 2 hex screws in each one, they are fastened down. Now you want your 1/4-inch drill bit, drill right between the 2 screws. After you finish that, you're going to get your hex bolt, 2 washers, and a normal nut. Slide your hex bolt down with your 1 washer, put another washer on the other side, and screw your nut on. After you get your bolts in all your leg braces, flip your legs up, get your 7/16 wrench and sockets, and just tighten them down. After you finish tightening them down, you want to leave them up, push them against your frame as far as they'll go. Take your drill bit, you want to drill a hole about here, right in the center where they would meet. Like that. And then you want to come over to this other side, and right above or at the lower part of the C, you want to drill a hole on the outer side. You want to leave enough room where you can put a wing nut in it. Just like that. Do it on all 4 sides. Once you have all your holes drilled, you want your hex bolt, 2 washers, and your wing nut. What you're going to do, put your hex bolt in with one of your washers, put the other washer on the other side, and screw on your wing nuts. The same thing over here. Put your washer through, your bolt and washer through, get your other washer, put on the other side, screw your wing nut on. Do that on all 4 sides. Once you do that on all 4 sides, you can pick up your bench, flip it over, and you're ready to use it. Now, since you have your table flipped over and your legs out, it's ready to be used.